Welcome back to Smart Real Estate with Westcliff, the show where we help you learn, invest, and manage with confidence. And in this series, with intention. I'm your host, Addy Saeed, joined by my co-host, Cass Joffer.
Thanks, Addy. In this episode of Investing with Impact, we're zooming in on the S in ESG, social responsibility. We've already touched on environmental impact in real estate, but today we're talking about the human side of your investments, how your capital choices affect people, communities, and culture.
Exactly. When we talk about social responsibility in real estate, we're talking about much more than writing a rent check or closing a deal. We're talking about creating inclusive communities, supporting equitable developments, and delivering values that goes beyond just the bottom line.
So let's define it. Social responsibility in real estate is the idea that investors, developers, and managers have a duty to contribute positively to the people who live in and around their properties. That could mean designing inclusive and accessible spaces. It could mean providing affordable housing option. It could even mean ensuring your contractors and vendors are paid fairly and treated ethically.
And let's not forget tenant engagement and community integration. If I've seen landlords who run these buildings like ghost ships, completely disconnected from the people living there. But the best projects, the ones that perform well in the long term, usually have one thing in common. They treat tenants like stakeholders, not liabilities.
One of the most powerful examples I've seen recently was a mixed-use housing development that Westcliff reviewed for a potential partnership. The developers explored options to include affordable units, energy efficiency, and community programs.
Right. And not only did that development have a waiting list a mile long, but tenants' turnover was virtually non existent. That's the part a lot of investors miss. Social responsibility isn't just ethical, it's strategic. When you create a place where people feel proud to live, they stay longer, take better care of the space, and contribute to a more stable cash flow.
Here's another angle. Think about accessibility. Are your buildings accommodating people with mobility issues? Are you investing in properties close to public transit or in underserved communities where your capital can actually drive equity and inclusion?
Social responsibility isn't a trend, it's a mindset, and it's increasingly a requirement. Millennials and Gen Z investors are more likely to put money into companies and funds that align with their values. Institutional capital is shifting in that direction too. ESG scoring is becoming a factor where pension funds and REITs will even consider backing a deal.
And let's be honest, tenants are changing too. They're looking for more than just four walls and a roof. They want community. They want safety. They want landlords who are going to listen. Social responsibility is about meeting those expectations and elevating the standard.
Westcliff helps clients incorporate social impact into their investment strategy in practical, measurable ways. We evaluate projects not on just ROI, but also community impact, tenant experience, and long-term livability. And we often work with investors who say, I want to make a difference, but I also need strong returns. Good news, you don't have to choose between the two.
It's about designing investments where impact and income can coexist. And when done right, they reinforce each other.
If today's conversation resonated with you and you're interested in making an investment that makes a difference, we'd love to chat. Book a time with us by visiting cal.westcliffam.com.
Don't forget to join our Westcliff Investor Network called WIN by visiting win.westcliffam.com. You'll get access to curated opportunities that align with ESG principles, regular updates on our latest projects, and a community of purpose-driven investors.
At Westcliff, we believe in helping you learn, invest, and manage responsibly and profitably. Subscribe to our podcast, share it with your fellow investor, and as always, reach out with any questions or ideas.
One last reminder, while we are professionals, this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Always seek professional advice from a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Thanks again for tuning in, Smarties. Next episode, we're diving into the G in ESG, governance and transparency, and why ethical management is more than just good optics. Until then, happy investing.
Thank you.